Are you ready to get the biggest, best buff that you can possibly get for your exemplar? That way, when we get into the playtest for Mirandus, you'll have the best chance to earn the most Materium. Start earning your money back right away. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. But first, my name is Duyo, and if you're into Miranda's content, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because that's what we're talking about here. The world of Miranda's, the upcoming MMORPG that is on the blockchain where you can play and earn real life money. And if you want to join the Discord community, a link's going to be in the description below where you can play with others, chat with others. I share Miranda's tips. You can find parties for this upcoming playtest that should be next month if everything goes according to plan. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about buffs. And this specific buff is going to be from Voxes. So, a lot's happened recently as far as Voxes and Voxverse, and there's been changes to Miranda's. Some of these changes are good, some of them is bad, and we're going to talk about all of that. So, I am doing these daily Miranda's tips, and hold on, this is directly related to the Voxverse. I'm doing these daily Miranda's tips literally every single day. I just did number 26 on the day of this video, so by the time you see this, I'll probably be on 27, 28. And I'm going to keep going every single day until the playtest, so make sure you guys are checking that out. But on the day, the very day, like 4 hours after I posted my video about Voxes and how they give you a buff for Miranda's, the Miranda's team changed it. Of course, that had to happen. As soon as I released something, they had to change it on me. A lot of this stuff is still in development. It's going to be subject to changes. That's how it works in the beginning. But then that's what videos like this is for, where we can talk about those changes. So Voxverse has had a lot of negative publicity. I'm not really going to go into that right now because personally, I don't care about Voxverse. Cool, it's another game on Web3. It's a play to earn game. Gala's in control of it. All of that is cool, great. But I'm here for Mirandus, and you guys are probably here for Mirandus too. So that's what we're going to stick with. There are boxes in Mirandus. There's actually two different kinds. There are exemplar voxes, and let's say you have a green cloak human, there's a green cloak human vox. And then let's say you are a orc of the long hunt, there's an orc of the long hunt vox. And if you had a matching vox previously, you would get a 15% increase to whatever your exemplar's bonus is. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with exemplar bonuses, check out this playlist because I cover all 30 exemplars and what all of their bonuses are, and that will largely determine your playstyle. So check them out if you don't know what they are yet. But a matching vox with your exemplar would give you a 15% bonus to whatever you're doing. So with the example of green cloaks, they're good at chopping down trees and crafting wood items, and they would get a 15% bonus to that. It makes you, like potion makers are already the best at making potions, and then it would make them 15% better. And there's not enough boxes to go around to everybody, so there will be some players that are literally capped out max the best they can be, and others that just aren't. But with these changes, the dev team, because of the negative publicity revolving around Voxverse, the dev team of Mirandus did something kind of genius. A lot of people don't like it, a lot of people do like it. It is what it is, and overall for the Gala ecosystem, it was a great move on their part. They made it to where a matching Vox now will give you a 30% increase in your HP and your health during the playtest, and an animal vox of any kind is going to give you a 10% boost in your HP, your health, and that is only during the playtest. Later on down the road, they are going to revamp these voxes to convert back into their original purpose of giving you the extra boost to what your exemplar has. So again, if you have reduced energy costs while running, then this is going to give you an additional 15% bonus to that. It could be more or less than 15. They've obviously changed this once. They could change it up again. It might change more in the future, and when it does, that's what channels like this is here for. So make sure to subscribe. Perfect plug-in for that. But a lot of people don't like this because HP health is obviously one of your core stats, and it determines a lot in game. And if you can just buy something on the market that gives you an instant 30% boost, that's But with all this negative publicity around Voxverse, the prices of Voxes were tanking, as you know. That's what negative publicity. There was bad news around Voxverse. So, it's tanking. And the Mirandus team is like, I got you, bro. And they made these Voxes useful. They gave people a reason to hold on to these or even buy these. And they gave them utility and a purpose. And it will help keep the Voxverse price up until Voxverse can get back on their feet and do whatever they're doing. Again, I'm more into Mirandus. I'm not too concerned about the prices of Vox or those NFTs or anything like that. I just care about the Mirandus Voxes. But as a whole ecosystem, Voxverse is related to Gala, Mirandus is related to Gala. So overall, it was a good move on Mirandus's part to kind of carry the weight and shoulder that burden of the bad news from Voxverse until they can get back on their feet. And that's pretty cool. But let's go into what a 30% bonus in health means for the playtest. It's kind of a big deal because in the playtest, we're not really going to be earning Materium yet from crafting stuff, from gathering stuff. Really, the way that you earn Materium in the playtest is by going out there and killing bad guys, these goblins. And if you have a 30% health boost, then let's say you could be out there gathering Materium 30% longer. That means less trip back into town to get healthy, less money spent healing yourself up, and more time earning Materium, which means as of right now, this is the single biggest thing that you can do for your character to earn as much Materium as possible at the very start of this playtest. At the beginning of this playtest, buildings aren't going to be a thing yet. Landies ain't going to be a thing yet. Renting out exemplars ain't going to be a thing yet. All of these other things, even horses. I would argue to say a horse is going to be the biggest boon, the biggest buff you can do for your character, but it's not going to be a thing yet in this first playtest. But these boxes will be. So that's really cool. I would highly suggest getting one if you haven't yet. And that's not from a financial point of view. I don't care what the price of them are or where it's going to. I'm just saying they are the best way to get a 30% health boost. From a gamer perspective, that's going to be the biggest bonus you can get right now to start earning that Materium. Am I worried about this starting a trend of Gala just creating and changing things to make big bonuses to buy items to where, you get a big bonus in game? Well, guess what? If you buy a building, you're going to get taxes and fees from the people using that building. If you own land, you're going to get taxes from the people putting the buildings on your land. And if you own 500 plus exemplars like some people do, and you rent them out, you're going to be getting all of that rental. You're renting it out. People pay you a fee for that. So this isn't a new concept. Like, these are NFTs. It's going to be slightly pay to earn because it is a play to earn game. You can spend money to get an advantage in the game, just like you can in any game, right? But keep this in mind. These boxes is not like a special one-time thing only slot for it. These boxes are actually considered trinkets. And I would wager to guess in the future we'll be able to craft trinkets. We'll be able to slay monsters and they drop trinkets. There will be other trinkets in the game to equip other than these boxes that only make sense. It's like there's that Ring of Discord going around. And those are pretty cool. You got a little blue light and stuff. But we know for a fact that there's goldsmiths out there that make jewelry. And sooner or later, you're going to have a ring with better stats than what your Ring of Discord would give you, and you're going to swap it out. Well, it would only then make sense that sooner or later, you're going to get a trinket that's better than what your fox is, and you'll have to switch it out, That's not confirmed yet, but it would only make sense that if these are a trinket slot, that we'll be able to earn additional trinkets in the game upon release and swap these boxes out for trinkets. Maybe someday these boxes will be worth more. Maybe someday they'll be worth less. I don't know. All I know is that right now, the best way to earn Materium at the start of the playtest would be to own one of these because you have more health, which means you can be out there longer, killing more goblins and earning more Materium. That's that's all it is right now. And I do think it was a genius move from the Mirandus team to help the whole ecosystem as a whole. And the way it was before, like you could like people bought these boxes a long time ago, right? They've been around for a while. And the utility of them just isn't implemented yet for this playtest. So they would be next to useless. Doing it this way, all those people who did spend the money on it, they're being rewarded because now they'll actually be useful in game. So, do I agree with it? Do I disagree with it? Overall, I think it was a pretty smart move. They're going to change again. They're supposed to be changing back before the release. We got a while of playtest to go though, so we'll see how things go. Tell me your thoughts on these boxes and the 30% health boost that they give you. And more importantly, there is a even better buff than these boxes that won't be implemented yet, but they are going to be better when they are implemented. So if you want to know what the best buff for your exemplar you could possibly get is, then subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be making a video on that very shortly. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.